Nick Candy, what a move. Truex on the outside, contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Welcome viewers to race 2 of the official iRacing V8 Supercar Series here on Monday night. You're with RaceSpotTV with Brenton O'Brien and Daniel Benefield. Looking forward to a great action race here tonight at Oulton Park. We've got 21 laps of fast, furious action in front of us. Dan, welcome to the action.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be fairly interesting sprint race tonight here from Oulton Park. Very tight, twisty at one end, very fast flowing at the other end racetrack in England.
Yeah, we're using the international layout tonight. There's 8 layouts of this track. Yeah, just said 21 laps. Weather tonight is track temperature's 35 degrees, so it's fairly warm. Clear skies, winds northwest at 14 k's an hour, so moderate winds. So around this 4.33 kilometre track, turns 17 turns. Looking forward to some great action tonight. There's already been a few races over the week and the results have been quite tossed up. Ethan Grigol had a good win on Saturday in the V8 Supercars America Series, and John Emerson won the earlier race today.
Yeah, definitely. Going into qualifying, it's not Ethan Grigol or John Emerson on pole at the moment. It's actually Ian Ford in that Evolution Racing Australia Dumanov car by 2/10 over Ethan Grigol. Marcelo Rivera third, Val Riches in 4th, and Wayne Seaberg rounding out the top 5 at the moment.
Yeah, busy week for the V8s this week. They had the Premier Series last night. There was 2 races in the top split, 2 sprint races, and 1 race in the second split, the V8 Premier Series. And fantastic racing all around last night in the commentary team, Sandman and JD, to be congratulated. They made the show really good last night, so well done to them. But yeah, hopefully tonight we'll have the same type of race. We've got a really strong field. It looks like we've got a pretty full field. We've got 24 cars. So yeah, again a strong field. We've got Vale Riches wearing the number 1 plate tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Cubis is here tonight as well in that number 2 car, only down in 10th at the moment in qualifying, just in behind Aaron Hamilton. He's in actually a really tight group because you've got Stratford on a 35 446 and 8, Hamilton on a 448 488, sorry, and then Cubis on a 35 505, and then James McKnight just behind him on a 35 521.
Yeah, it's going to be close qualifying. We've still got the 4 minutes left. Just wouldn't mind if we can just do a hot lap. This week's hot lap, we're going to try and do this every week with different teams. This week's team is going to be TTL with John Emerson behind the wheel. So he's going to do a drive around of the lap for us and show exactly what we can do here at Oulton Park International.
Alright guys, time for a lap of Oulton. Up to 6th gear here, and back to 4th. Try and nail this apex nice and tight here on the entry. You go a bit too late, you'll go a bit wide. Up here, just 5th, roll it, and then back down to 4th. Keep it fairly tight in here. If you push out wide, you lose a lot of momentum. Not too wide on exit, otherwise you get a 1x. Up to 6th up here, just before the hats, back to 5th. Just roll it through the corner. Bit of throttle on exit, and heavy braking back to 2nd. Keep it fairly tight here, but gentle on the exit with the throttle, otherwise you'll loop it. For this sequence of corners, I always just try and aim a bit left than right. Oh, it's not great. It's not too bad. Heavy braking here for 2nd. Enter it early if you can. It gives you good momentum through the corner. Here's a short shift to 3rd, which I missed. And up over the hill. Off the throttle just a little bit so you don't lose too much traction. Back to 4th, maybe 3rd. Yep, overshot, so 3rd's good. Short shift to 4th. Try and kiss that ripple on the left, but not too wide. And then again, heavy back to 2nd, heavy braking. Try and keep that tight, tighter than what I did. And there's a lap of Oulton.
So a great lap there by John Emerson. Thanks to him and the TTL team for providing that. Like I said, each week we'll be bringing you a new team that does a hot lap each week. Just trying to get the sponsorship out there for you guys. Try and spread the word. There's good enough sponsors to come on board and help you guys out. Well, we need to thank them. The best way of doing that is giving them a bit of airtime. Just got the 30 seconds to go of qualifying so far. Ian Ford's got himself 0.3 of a second up on Ethan Grigault. So looking very handy for that pole there. Mitch McLeod in the Ford Motorsports, 0.4 of a second off of Ethan's time. So quite a bit of a spread here. Marcelo Rivera in the Sticks Holden Commodore, and Vale Richards in 5th place with a 35 flat. Ben Smith in the Demidov Commodore, just the 26 100ths behind Vale Richards. Bo Cattell, Bo Cubis, welcome back to the V8s for Bo. He's had probably a good season and a half off now, just got away from it all a while, so he's privateer, I think, with a bit of help from STC. Wayne Burke and Jake Burton is, no, there's actually been a change. James McKnight has come in to the top 10, so as qualifying is coming to a close, there's going to be some slight changes.
Yeah, definitely. The front guys, as you said, Brenton, not so tight, but it's really tight in that mid-pack. From Mitch McLeod in 3rd to James McKnight in 10th. In fact, make that Jake Burton in 11th, just half a second, covering roughly 10 cars. So it is tight, but Ford and Grigault have checked out a little bit in qualifying.
Well, it's closed up just that fraction. Vale Richards has now moved into 3rd, so an improvement for Vale now last lap. Yeah, well, you're looking at the times from 10th place James McKnight through to Sammy Sutton in 17th there, and there's only the 3/10, so close field for sure. Bo Cattell has moved up into 5th place with a 34.901, so an improvement for Bo as well.
Yeah, definitely. So it's going to move Marcelo down to 6th now, and seems to be no matter what car it is, no matter what series, Marcelo and Ben always end up somehow together in qualifying and racing for that fact.
Yeah, well, these guys just live down the road from each other, genuine friends, and they obviously went through the GT Academy together, but Ben's just coming up to the end of his lap now, just got it on the grass a little bit there at Deer Leap, and no improvement there at 35.096. He'll be pretty disappointed with that. He's been showing some pretty good times throughout the week, so 7th place for Ben Smith there, and I'm thinking Bo Cubis made that slight improvement to 8th on his last lap, so yeah, our grid set, and Ian Ford has taken the pole position in front of Ethan Grigault. So the 1-2 on the grid, the Demidov and the STC cars, TTL 3rd and Ford Motorsports car 4th, Bo Cattell 5th. So again, like last week, the top 5 places are taken up by 5 different teams.
Yeah, definitely, and add a 6th in there with Marcelo obviously being from ERA. So very, very tight field, very mixed field in terms of teams as well. So we're set for another good race.
Yeah, we are. Ian's been struggling off the start here, so that's going to give a bit of hope for Ethan and Vale. There's no doubt if Ethan's very good off the start line. Probably in the race at 6:15 tonight, just got jumped a little bit on the start line. But yeah, you should expect a real close start here going into turn 1 at Old Hall Corner.
Yeah, definitely. Not the longest run in the world going into Old Hall here. It's very quick, and pole position's actually on the cleaner. It is on the cleaner side of the track, but it is on the outside. So it's going to be interesting off the start as we're just flicking through the grid. So it's going to be Ian Ford on pole, Ethan Gritgold second, Richards third, McLeod for Cattell fifth, Rivera sixth, Smith seventh, Cubis eighth, Burke ninth, and McKnight rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, looking forward to this race. After the action of last week, Ethan Gritgold won comfortably last week by about 17 seconds. A lot of strategy played into place last week with the pit stop. No pit stop tonight. Going to need about 75 litres off the start line and just run it all the way to the finish. So should be a close race throughout with a good field.
Yeah, definitely a pure sprint race, this one, as we're just waiting for the lights to come up, everyone to grid up, and then we'll be away and racing for 21 laps around Oulton Park.
So just as the last cars grid up now, with Vale Riches, his team, John Emerson, won the 6:15 race. We know their setup's pretty strong. Ethan Gritgold, we know what he can do. Revs are building.
Revs are building, and the lights are out, and we are away. Looks like a pretty even start for the top two. Ian Ford comes across and defends from Ethan Gritgold. Oh, there's a car in the wall in the background.
He's rolled it. He's rolling. He's still rolling. I think that might have been Ben Smith, unfortunately, just trying to pan back there. Didn't see what happened, but that is Ben Smith. Yeah, if we can follow the replay there, didn't catch that, but that car is toast for this race, unfortunately.
It looked like off the start, he's come across. Brenton, you're not going to like this, but he's come across and made contact with Marcelo.
Yep, can see that. These things happen. You've got boys out there that can race hard, and yeah, it happens every now and then. So no doubt those boys will sort it out amongst themselves later on. But up at the front, we've got still exciting racing. It's no doubt disappointing for Rivera and for Smith, but Ian Ford, to capitalise on that good start, and Ethan Gritgold putting some early pressure on there. Mitch McLeod has got himself into third, and Vale Riches just dropped that spot down to fourth. So hopefully the boys' connections will stay strong tonight. The two SSR cars of Burke and Cattell hanging on to fifth and sixth. So a great start by Wayne Burke there. Obviously capitalised on the drama with the Rivera and Smith cars. Not sure there's any other damage to any of the cars. I didn't see that at this stage, but great start for Wayne Burke.
Yeah, definitely. I think there was another car that, the Josh Burden. The Josh Burden car's got no rear lid on it at the moment, so no wing. I'm not sure if he'll pit for that. Actually, the Michael Healy car just up ahead's got a bit of damage to the front left as well.
Yeah, Mick Cracknell's also in the pits. Obviously, he's had no luck tonight. I think what's happened there is Marcelo just probably got balked by one of the SSR cars there and had to cut across. And Smith got balked a little bit trying to get across one of the SSR cars, and Marcelo's running in the back of him. That's what happens on these starts, isn't it? But up at the front, Ian Ford, a standing start lap of 1:41.4. These two are going to put on a strong show. I've got no doubt about that, and these guys will probably have the pace over Mitch McLeod, who's been doing a lot of practice and did a strong result in last night's Premier Series race. And we'll catch a replay of this start.
Yeah, so it looked like Ben got a decent start and was just moving across ever so slightly, I should say, over towards Marcelo, and then Marcelo's just had the slightest overlap on Ben, and then it's just as the two cars have come together, it spun Ben into the wall and rolled him over.
Yeah, it's like I said, these things happen in V8s, and it's that type of track where it's not much room between the start and the first turn, and you've got to try and position your car, obviously, where you want to put it. And sometimes the guys want the same piece of bitumen. Well, incidents are going to happen.
Yeah, as you said though, Brenton, they are good mates. They just live down the road from each other, so I'm sure they'll talk about it and get over it and come back stronger next week.
Yeah, Matty Stratford's had a good start as well here, from 14th on the grid up into 8th, showing some strong pace. Just that little bit of damage I see to the front of his car. I would imagine that's from that first corner incident, or first straight incident at the start there. So he's had a great start up there, 6th position. So just behind him, James McKnight. McKnight's had nothing but issues. I think with iRacing as a whole this week, there's been a lot of issues with connecting. I know this is McKnight's 3rd, maybe 4th attempt to have a start here this week, and I would almost imagine this is his first laps he's rolled in, because every time he's tried to start, he's had a disconnect. Aaron Hamilton behind him, Jake Burton in the Dayco Commodore behind him. Bo Cubis, like I said, running as a privateer. Down into 12th from that start, Sammy Sutton, Kurt Stenberg, Martin Carroll with SDC, Michael Healy, and Josh Burton is missing the rear of his car. Mark Anderson, another one, good to see back in the series. James Keane and Greg Sharp in the 2 Sticks livery cars at the end, and Benjamin Zoko. And haven't come across that name before, but yeah, he's in 21st position.
Yeah, they're the only cars running as well. I did notice there's actually quite a few cars throughout the field. Obviously, we mentioned before the Healy and Burton car, but there's a bit of damage on Jake Burton's car. There's a bit of damage on, I think it was Marty Carroll. Yeah, a little bit of damage on Marty Carroll, a bit of damage on Stratford's car as well. So obviously the collision between Rivera and Smith triggered a rather large reaction throughout the field.
Well, when you've got a car rolling on its lid a couple of times down the main straight, and Bo Cubis is making a move on Burton there, Jake just got a little bit loose on the exit there at Lodge Corner, turn 16, but able to fight back here. Bo's going to have the inside line here into Cascades at turn 3, so Bo's got that job done now, so moves up a position. Oh, just a bit loose on the exit there. Should hold this position here.
He's going to hold it, but it did make him pretty vulnerable there. Coming down into the fast left-hander, that is turn 4, and Burton's having a look now into the hairpin. He's got his teammate Sam Sutton behind him as well, so he can probably attack a little harder than he normally would. Can Jake Burton, but he won't want to push too hard just in case Sam does see an opportunity. He's all over the back of Cubis now.
Yeah, and this is the best passing opportunity here as they come into Hislop's turns 10 and 11. Deep under brakes here, you can get it really close to that tyres there. A lot of cars have been clipping that this week from what I've seen, and not getting a hell of a lot of damage, so whether there's been a change, don't know. But yeah, no, it's a good little battle here, and up in front of them there's a bit of a train I've noticed with Dean O'Brien. Looks like he's cleared out there now. James McKnight, Aaron Hamilton are in that battle as well for 8th, 9th and 10th with Matty Stratford.
Yeah, actually, Dean O'Brien, he's come from 13th on the grid, so he got a really good start as well.
And we've got a pass here, sorry, and we might have a double pass here. The SSR guys are ganging up on poor old Vale here. Pretty sure that Cattell's got that move done. Vale just lost his traction as he went through D Elite. That's that little left-hander as you're coming up to the start-finish. The car gets awfully light there, and Cattell's been able to cash in there. And Wayne Burke's also on the hammer of Vale, and I'm pretty sure that Vale and Bo just had that little touch there, and Vale's got that little bit of damage to that front right now.
It looks like Vale's car's actually quite a bit loose, because it looked quite a bit loose coming out of Cascades as well. Because now he's just lost him, and he's back now. Just lost him for a second there, connection. He's got Wayne C. Burke all over the back of him now, so I wonder if, I don't think Cattell's going to try and help his teammate more, try to clear out and trying to catch up to Mitchell McLeod up ahead.
Yeah, well, now that Cattell's been released, we see how quick he's going to do that. Mitch McLeod's last lap is 35. Actually, look at this. Lap 3 for Mitch McLeod on 35.911. Lap 4 for Mitch McLeod at 35.911. Lap 2, by the way, was a 35.990, so very consistent. Remarkably consistent lap time so early in the race for Mitch McLeod. As I said, that's just continuing on his strong form from last night's premierships. I think he picked up a pair of 5s or 6s, so did a good job last night there at Donington Park, but he's going to have Bo Cattell over on very shortly.
That consistency is going to help his tyre life as well. He won't be using them well, I'd say not too much, but he won't be hurting the tyres that much. Is probably more appropriate, which should help his tyre life in the long run.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of teams might be looking at running the 350 gear ratio. A lot of teams are probably favouring the 375 ratio. I think the 350 ratio, from what I hear, is probably better on the tyres. But 21 lap race, and we're already into lap 6. Ian Ford and Ethan Grigord have really cleared out from the field. Ian's still held on to that lead, just that 8 tenths or 9 tenths up on Ethan Grigord. But Ethan's going to stay there all day. We know that. It's just a matter of how Ian's going to be able to handle this pressure. These guys have got themselves just over 6 seconds in front of Mitch McLeod, but he's got Bocatel Vale Riches and lost him again. And Wayne Burke all over the back.
I wonder if sorry about that. I wonder if Greg Goult's actually just saving his tyres early on in the race. I mean, this is only lap 6 of 21, so I wonder if Greg Goult's just sitting there about a second behind Ian Ford at the moment, just saving his tyres a bit for later on in the race.
Yeah, I probably think we're underselling Ian Ford's pace here this week. He did qualify 3 tenths ahead of Ethan Grigord, so I don't think the boys need to save their tyres a hell of a lot. The tyre wear hasn't been an issue over the 21 laps. So I think Ethan's doing his best to hang in there, and whilst they've got the clear track in front, just waiting for Ian to make that mistake if it comes at all.
Well, Grigord was a tenth, just short of 2 tenths up on Ian for that last time round. So now the gap, just 7 tenths between first and second. But the gap between Grigord and Mitch McLeod in third is up to 6.2 seconds. So the first two have checked out big time.
Yeah, we've got to give a bit of a shout out here to Dean O'Brien as well. We haven't mentioned him yet, up into 7th place. Started 13th on the grid. I'm not sure Dean didn't race last week, so it's great to have him back as well in the series. And some good lap times here, doing a really good job. And 36.292 is very respectable. And he's got that pack of Matty Stratford, James McKnight, Aaron Hamilton, Bo Cubis, Jake Burton, Sam Sutton's now enjoying that battle as well. He was there before, but he's right with them now. And this is the thing with the teammates. You've got Burton and Sutton. Who's to say that Sutton's not any quicker, than whether there's any team orders. But Bo Cubis, considering he hasn't done a lot of driving of late, is doing a fantastic job. And another Dayco car, by the way, of Kurt Stenberg is the one coming up behind him with Martin Carroll, Mick Healy in that little battle as well. So battles all through the field at the moment.
Yeah, I was just looking at Jake Burton on Bo Cubis there, and he's all over the back of him, but he just can't get enough momentum to be able to make a move on Bo Cubis up ahead. There's another battle pack just up ahead of those guys as well, and that's the Hamilton McKnight Stratford battle that you mentioned. Was that Hamilton getting really loose?
Great save by Aaron there. A great save. Just got a bit light, and he lost the back end and brought that back. But no, don't. Again, Bo Cubis, he's a past series champion here actually when he was racing with the ERE team. So he's certainly no slouch behind the wheel. And even though he's had that break, as every race goes by, he's only just going to get quicker and quicker.
As actually that mistake by Hamilton's sort of brought Cubis and those two SSR cars into this battle for what is 8th position with Stratford at the head of the train. In fact, Cubis has dropped those SSR cars by probably about a second or so over the last half a lap.
Yeah, well, maybe those two SSR cars got a bit nervous when they saw Aaron driving sideways for a while. Might have just lifted. Bo didn't lift, and he's obviously made contact now. But I would imagine with the train being led by Stratford, he's doing a good job up there. He's holding his line, getting his entries and exits right. And I would imagine that this train's just going to get longer and longer. And you can already see that the two SSR cars are with Bo.
Actually, just looking at the lap times, 36.6 for Stratford. Actually, it was similar the lap before, but the previous lap, O'Brien pulled out probably 4 tenths on Stratford. So Stratford obviously starting to feel the pressure in that Ford Motorsports car.
Yeah, Marty Carroll's made a move on Kurt Stenberg as well, so he's moved up a position. So interesting to see if he can make up to the tail of the Sutton, Burton, Cubis, Hamilton, McKnight and Stratford gang there. So already we're coming up to the end of lap 8 for these boys. Start of lap 9 now for our leaders. And if you go back up to the front there, Ian Ford just looks like he has stretched that lead a little bit out to 1.2 seconds. Ethan Rigault with a 35.033. Ian Ford that 2/10 quicker. So, just the elastic starting to stretch. We're only talking 1.2 seconds, but sometimes that's all you need. Once that elastic breaks, and away he'll go. But still a few laps to go. 12 laps to go yet. And at the moment, Ian Ford's looking reasonably comfortable, but I'm sure he's working very hard behind that wheel.
Very different race compared to last week for both these guys. Obviously, Great Goop checked out very early on and just held the lead and had a very quiet race to himself. Ian Ford obviously having that disconnection while he was in the middle of that train for second place. So much better race for Ian in this one as we go back. Stratford's off the track. Stratford is off the track, and that's going to cost him 5 positions easily.
Yeah, well, Aaron Hamilton had already made a move on James McKnight before that, and Stratford had just got loose there on the exit of Britain's in turn 9 there, and just got on the grass. And you're right, that has cost him 5 positions. Interesting to see the speed of Aaron Hamilton now, but what that's also done is got Bo Cubis onto the tail of James McKnight. And like I said, McKnight hasn't had a chance to do a lot of racing this week due to his constant dropout problem. So interesting to see how he hangs in there for this race.
Well, it's interesting that one mistake from Stratford, and it's put him from the front of the train to the back. It'll be interesting to see if he can actually keep up with these guys. But one little mistake, and that it can cost you a lot.
Well, especially in such a tight field like that. That has cost him those 5 positions. But Matty started he was down on the grid a little bit there, just 2 secs. He started 14th. He's down to 13th now. Just that, like you said, that one mistake, and he unfortunately said it right in front of that chain, and all 5 cars have been able to get through. And if anything, he's now got a little bit more damage that I can see just on the front right. So whether he's actually connected one of those tyres there at Britain's, maybe at turn 8 there, I'm thinking, and that's probably put him off that line. And what he's got now is Kurt Stenberg, who's got back through Marty Carroll, who's also got a little bit of damage to that front right. And they'll be coming at him last lap to 36.3 for Kurt Stenberg, very respectable. And obviously with Matty Stratford's problem, a 40 flat. So he's just dropping off the tail of the cars in front, that group of 5 now led by Aaron Hamilton.
I think it's going to become a group of 6 pretty quickly, though, as Hamilton looks like he got a bit of understeer there. Because these guys, they matched Dean O'Brien last lap in terms of lap times, but they did have to dodge Matty Stratford taking a bit of a shortcut. So it'll be interesting to see what the times are this time around as Hamilton. Looks like that car's understeering quite badly.
A lot of understeer here, and it's given McKnight a really good run into Lodge Corner here, turn 16.
Oh, there's a little bit of contact.
This is going to let Bo Cubis through as well into turn 1. I'd imagine Cubis is already going to get the deal done. Very wide by Bo. But again, he'll get the job done. So at Old Hall Corner, Aaron Hamilton's just lost those 2 positions there. Oh, there's not going to be contact here.
There's more contact. Here comes Burton. Here comes Sutton. This is the 2x2. Sutton's on the grass. Oh, Cubis. Cubis is leading on Burton.
Cubis is giving him a bit of a bump draft there. Not sure what happened there. I'm thinking Cubis may have come over to Hamilton, or Hamilton came over. It's worth having a look at in the replay yet. Not going to point the finger at anyone there, but what that's done is helped James McKnight and released him a little bit, and obviously Dean O'Brien in front of them. But Jake Burton has made some good ground that lap, just on the back of some mistakes by other drivers.
Yeah, that's up, and looks like actually he's starting to already pull back up to the back of McKnight, but he's up to what, 9th place now. So he was 12th in this train before, so he's pretty much been gifted. Oh, he's made a mistake though now himself. In fact, McKnight's sideways up ahead, but he's held it. So two drivers making 2 mistakes at the same time there. That was interesting.
Yeah, well, the race is getting closer. We're at lap 11 of 21 laps. At the moment, the battle also for third is heating up as well. We've got Mitch McLeod and Bo Cattell have certainly closed up. Cattell's certainly the faster of the 2 there at this stage. Ian Ford's checked out. He's got it to 2 seconds now. So, it's only 2 seconds, but at the moment, as he stands, he's looking very comfortable. But the battles are very intense throughout the rest of the field.
Yeah, Wayne C. Burke putting a bit of pressure on Vale Riches, who's sort of dropped off the back of Bo Cattell. I would expect Riches to... Oh, as Burt gets a bit sideways coming out of turn 3 there. But I thought Riches would be able to keep on the back of of Cattell. Sorry, I just trying to find what you were. I'm going to assume it was the battle for 8th.
Yeah, back to the battle for 8 that cascades Aaron Hamilton. Again, the car just seems to understeer, or he's probably just driving it too hard there, and he's really given Sammy Sutton a big sniff there to have a look. Sutton probably had to back off there to avoid an accident, but sorry. Yeah, the battle here is just fantastic between these guys, but McKnight has checked out a little bit. I'm pretty sure Burton's just clipped the exit there at Britain's in turn 9 as well. So yeah, front left damage now for that Dayco car.
It's actually bringing Matty Stratford back into this a little bit, and Kurt Stenberg's not that far behind, and neither is Marty Carroll. So maybe these guys may tag onto the back of the train, but they're sort of in 2 groups of 2. Obviously McKnight about a second and a half, 2 seconds up the road, but sort of 2 groups of 2 with Burton and Cubis, and then you got Hamilton and Sutton, and then you got, as actually Sutton's having a look at Hamilton now. Can't make it stick though, so close. It's so close, a little bit sideways for Hamilton coming out of turn 16.
Yeah, the racing's been intense throughout, no doubt, and lap 13 now. Just the battle with Burton there with that little bit of damage. He's doing a good job here. 36.3 last lap, 36.4 for Cubis. Obviously might have had a bit of a drama there going through Britain's when he probably got held up by Burton a little bit, but you know, McKnight in front of him is holding very steady. That looks like a very clean car. And good old Dean O'Brien, or should be good old Dean O'Brien, but Dean O'Brien, he hasn't missed a beat. Still in 7th place from that 13th on the grid, so fantastic job by him. He's kept that great consistency up, and at the moment getting that reward.
Shows that consistency can give you track position. Obviously took advantage of that start line accident to jump up to 7th in the first place, and then consistency's just kept them. They just about 2 seconds clear of that battle for 8th. Obviously more of a battle for 9th now that James McKnight has cleared it, but it's just kept them up there, and he'll probably, as long as he keeps on this sort of pace, probably stay there.
Yeah, and we're going to be saying g'day to Kurt Stenberg as well, because he's put in some real good pace as well, and he's worked his way away from Marty Carroll, who's got a little bit of damage there to the front, but he's going to be working his way up to Matty Stratford, and Stratford's making gains on this pack as well. Not heavy gains by any means, but if it maintains this pace, he'll be there come the last few laps.
Yeah, it's sort of spread out. Sutton's sort of dropped off the back of Hamilton now, and he's actually caught up to the back of Cubis. Burton's sort of pulled away. It's all changed up once again. In fact, I think they might be. I'll look at the times. 36.9. Yeah, so Burton took a 10th out of McKnight that time around. And actually O'Brien was another 2/10 off, so it's not over yet.
No, it's not over. Well, we saw this last week with Aaron Hamilton there in the Maverick Welding car. Yeah, he was battling in that group. It was a tight group last week, and then he finally made that move and got to the lead of a pack, and then lost it on the exit of the hairpin down there at Zolder. So, you know, he might be a guy who can follow another car fairly well, but when he's got clear air in front of him, he might struggle to hit his lines or to maintain that concentration. It's 2 weeks in a row now we've seen that from Aaron, and no doubt when I talk to him privately he'll tell me different, but you know, he had his nose clean and he could be up there a few positions, but just those little mistakes are creeping in every now and then.
Well, it's very, I mean, especially when you've done it for pretty much the whole race, it can be very weird, a very weird feeling going back into clean air if you've been behind a car for a long time. And sometimes that can actually bring mistakes if you're not prepared for it. And as a result, obviously, it happened to Aaron and last week at Zolder. But it can happen, and it has happened to people before, and it will happen again.
Yeah, McKnight's certainly making the some gains on O'Brien here, so there'll be a battle for 7th position now, and James McKnight showing some genuine pace at 35.8 last lap, 36.4 for Dean O'Brien, so 6/10. It's a heavy gain in one lap. McKnight's really driving the shoes off this thing at the moment, so putting in some really good steady times, and he's driven away from that pack of Cubis and Berg. We had a bit of an issue here.
is that Matty Stratford
Yeah, Matty
running wide?
Stratford and Kurt Stenberg have had a bit of a touchdown. I'm thinking whether it's just this race, but I'm pretty sure it's other races. There's a lot of connection issues. There seems to be a lot of cars blinking a lot, I've noticed, over the last few days, including the Premier Series last night and the official race at 6:15 tonight. So, but what that's done, Stratford's down, dropped off the back of that. Doesn't look like a lot of damage to the car 12 there of Kurt Stenberg, so I didn't see what happened there, but be interested to see whether Stenberg can get amongst this pack of Sutton, Hamilton, Cubis and Burton in front.
I don't think he'll be able to. I think he's too far back, but I think Stratford's tyres have just died on him because he was really slow through what's it called? Turn 1. I know it's got a name, but I forgot it. Old Hall, that's it. And then he was actually moving over to let Stenberg pass, but Stenberg moved right, and there was just a little bit of contact, hence the little altercation between the two drivers. As I can just see up ahead, Bo Cubis, Aaron Hamilton, Jake Burton really close together. Burton getting really loose coming across the start-finish line there.
Yeah, well, the cars are getting so light from Lodge Corner, turn 16. That little left, as I said, at Deer Leap, and yeah, the cars get light. Some cars, if they use that different gear ratio, are able to stay on the power. That's at the 350 ratio. So, you know, whether they're going to be able to do that and then maintain their tyres, we've only got the 5.5 laps to go. So this race is going to come to a conclusion very quickly. And out in front still, the two boys out front, Ethan Grigalt and Ian Ford, have not put a foot wrong thus far, and it looks quite comfortable for the Demonov Innovations Commodore of Ian Ford. Mitch McLeod also has put in another strong performance. We talked about his effort last night in the Premier Series. A great effort there for Mitch McLeod in third, and Bo Cattell got himself in fourth. Vale Riches, never to be underestimated, in fifth, but he's got Wayne Burke, who had dramas last week, ended up going over the instant limit. That's why we lost Burke last week, but putting in a great effort in sixth. And we've got Dean O'Brien and McMike together.
Yeah, we do. So that I'm sure McKnight should be able to get past pretty easily. But just mentioning Mitch McLeod when you're going through the field there. We didn't see Mitch McLeod last week. He had a connection issue, so he didn't qualify or race, which was a shame. But I'm thinking it's a case of what could have been for Mitch McLeod last week.
Yeah, I haven't seen his pace during the week at all, to be honest with you. And you know, Ethan Grigalt, nothing was going to take that win away from him last week, and I think Mitch McLeod himself would say the same thing, that Ethan was in a class of his own last week and it was a strong field. But would have been great to see Mitch last week. Obviously had connection issues, some of that's continued tonight for some. However, at the moment he's put in a great effort. McKnight still all over the back of O'Brien there, and Aaron Hamilton just made that light error at the exit there at Old Hall Corner on the avenue, and has just lost touch of Bo Cubis as well. So things have settled down a little bit here, apart from the McKnight-O'Brien battle.
It definitely is. McKnight had a bit of a look. Just looking, it's sort of split between two battles. For the battle for fifth between Riches and Burke, and then this battle for seventh between O'Brien and McKnight. It looks like the McKnight-O'Brien battle is the closer of the two at the moment. But keep an eye as Burke's all over the back of Riches as well.
Dan?
It looks like, yeah.
No, you're right. I'm going to say I'm going to start a swear jar for you soon. Every time you use the word definitely, you're going to put 20 cents in that jar. I'm going to be a millionaire by the time we've finished.
Yeah, I'll probably be able to pay for the broadcast by then. I'm still looking at this big. No, I don't know which one to look at. I don't know which one the Burke or Riches or McKnight and O'Brien. It's so close. O'Brien defense from McKnight now coming down into Lodge Corner. He's run wide. McKnight's on the inside as they come over the crest and across the start finish line. He's gonna have the inside into turn one, but he's not gonna have track position. O'Brien, I should say, will hold seventh.
Yeah, good driving by the both, and that was that part there at Deer Leap where the cars just get off the power a little bit, and who's going to be the bravest to keep that power on. Not forgetting, just a bit of a look there at Cascade by McKnight's got a really good run down the Lakeside Straight.
Yeah,
not going to be able to get the job done there. They're a fifth gear, dropping the fourth gear through Island Bend into Shellall Corner here. this isn't the place to pass. Probably not at Britain's as well. You've got to concentrate on the exit of Britain there, so you can go down Hilltop into the Hislops turn at 11 and see if you can get the passing move there. So just setting that up now.
These guys have to be careful because Jake Burton isn't too far behind with Bo Cubis either, and Aaron Hamilton and Sam Sutton, so they can't battle too much. But Big Knight's definitely the quicker of the two here. Oh, a little sideways, looked like he locked the rears a little bit under brakes. But you just can't get the run, can he, on O'Brien to get the move stick?
No, well, O'Brien's doing a fantastic job defending here, concentrating on his entries and exit points and just defending so well. But what it's doing is bringing the battle of Burton, Cubis, Hamilton and Sutton ever so closely. So in the last few laps, if this keeps up, we're coming up to the midpoint, sorry, 3/4 of the way through lap 18 for these guys now, coming up to the last turn here into Lodge Corner. And again, it's just a matter of who can get the best drive out. And O'Brien's very snaky out there, lost traction. That's going to put him under some serious attack here by McKnight this time around.
Yeah, O'Brien sort of half defending there down the front straight. McKnight, he's all over the back of him. Whoa, that's testy from McKnight. I just noticed quickly while we're watching this, at the front, the gap between Greg Gould and Ford is down to 1.2 seconds. So Greg Gould's actually starting to pull back into Ian Ford. But McKnight now, O'Brien a little sideways, but McKnight can't use it to his advantage. Oh, O'Brien's wide. O'Brien's understeered wide. McKnight's got the inside and track position. He'll take 7th place.
Yeah, well earned. And McKnight's, I can't imagine O'Brien challenging again. O'Brien's got some other issues with that group behind him. But yeah, just going.
Really sideways there for O'Brien. And actually just behind now, Cubis is looking to the outside of Burton into the Britons. And he's got to be careful because Hamilton's having a look. They're all going to hold station for now.
Yeah, and Cubis just a little bit wide there on the exit at Knickerbrook. So he's just got his two lefts on the grass and just didn't get the greatest traction now. But Hamilton's been able to stick with him. But yeah, I've got to admit, I'm kind of keeping half an eye on the battle for the lead here. Also, we've got another person, Benjamin Zoko, in the pits as well. Obviously had an incident, we missed that, sorry. But yeah, 35.2 for last lap for Ford, 35.1 last lap for Greg Gould. We're on lap 20, so 1 3/4 laps to go. Oh, geez, there's half a second gain by Ethan last lap. Whether Ian's made a mistake or not, do not know. But yeah, that battle certainly has tightened up at the front.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough time. Obviously, only 1.5 laps to go for Ford and Greg Gould. So Greg Gould's going to run out of laps, and Ford is very much in the prime position to take the race.
Yeah, well, he's led from the pole. He's put show strong pace, but I'm not going to congratulate him just yet. But yeah, coming up to the midpoint of 3/4 of the way through lap 20, I know whose shoes I'd rather be in. But this battle here, McKnight's cleared out, but O'Brien's now leading that chain of Burton, Cubis, Hamilton and Sutton. And there's still a bit of business to do here.
There's looks like Burton took half a look at O'Brien, then going, and they're also, there's a touch. Cubis is around.
It was a touch. I'm not sure whether it was a touch by Hamilton there or whether Cubis has gotten the power early. But Cubis has come out in front of Stenberg. I have to have a look at that later. Probably might not get much of a chance right now, but Cubis certainly has dropped a couple of positions there. And what that's done is Hamilton's under some serious attack with Hamilton and Sutton. Just have a look at that replay now.
Yeah, we're looking at the replay, just mainly trying to judge whether it was contact or not between Cubis and yeah, Hamilton. That was definitely a bit of a touch there.
So okay, so it looks like Hamilton might have got into the back of Cubis there. Well, it seems like he has. I haven't seen the replay myself. So yeah, that's not sure whether he's going to redress out. I'm not sure how Aaron sees that. I don't have communication, but up the front here, Ethan Greg Gould still putting some pressure on Ian Ford now. They go through, whether Ian's just being very defensive, they go through Hislops in through Knickerbrook here, which is turn 12. On the power early, you'd like to think he's going to get the job done here, up through Clay Hill, past the water tower at turn 14.
This is the last lap for these two. So if Ethan's gonna have a go, it's gonna have to be into Lodge Corner, but he's not gonna be close enough. So I'd say Ian Ford has got this race in the bag as long as he doesn't loop it over Dearsley, which it looks like he's pretty clear through. Yes, he is. Ian Ford will take the win just over Ethan Greekle in the end by 0.2 of a second. What a close race at the front.
Yeah, well, fantastic job. Maybe Ian was just maintaining his pace. Mitch McLeod, a fantastic job there in third. Probably a bit of a lonely race. And then Bo Cattell dropped off there at the end, down in fourth place. A good job there. Vale Riches, fifth place. Just lost connection there for a while there, Vale, sorry. And Wayne Burke, a fantastic driver, has been able to maintain that sixth place throughout the race. So a fantastic job by him.
Yeah, it's going to be McKnight, O'Brien, Burden, then Sutton. Is it going to be no? So Hamilton did readdress that position to Cubis. So Cubis will come home in 11th, Hamilton 12th, Stenberg 13th, Stratford 14th, Carroll 15th. Burden will come across the line in 16th, still with no rear deck on that car. Keane in 17th, Anderson in 18th, Healy 19th, Sharp will round out our...
Yeah, well, a great race, and it just shows Ian Ford wasn't able to do any races last week due to constant disconnects, so it shows what he can do, hopefully, when he gets a start and a finish. And the same with Mitch McLeod in the Ford Motorsports, didn't get a start last week. So two of the guys who disconnected last week were able to fill the podium today, and Ethan Grigol, well, he'll be happy with second place. It's still going to bring some very healthy points towards him for this series, so yeah, good news all around for the top three.
Yeah, as you said, the two guys that disconnected last week getting good results, and obviously Ethan Greekle grabbing some very good points to hold his, I'm assuming, what will be his championship lead.
Yeah, he's had such a strong result last week, but yeah, Michael Healy has also done a good job. I'm pretty sure he did the Premier Series last night as well. So that's the thing with the Premier Series, there's two different tracks. So these guys got to, well, the majority of them have got to learn two tracks over the week. So, you know, for those guys, it's a fantastic effort, and it's a lot of work to set these cars up properly. I would imagine some of the guys might be just doing a bit of a reconfigure of their Zolder setup from last week and jumping in, but it was a good effort all around.
Yeah, so we'll just confirm the results now. So Ian Ford won by 0.2 or a quarter of a second over Ethan Greekle. Mitch McLeod in third, Bo Cattell fourth, Vale Riches in fifth, Wayne C. Burke in sixth, James McKnight seventh, Dean O'Brien eighth, Jake Burden ninth, and Sam Sutton rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, and going through the other positions, sorry, just checking something. Bo Cubis, like I said, welcome back to the series in 11th. Aaron Hamilton did give that spot back there on the last lap, acknowledged a mistake there through his slops, just carried too much speed through. Kurt Stenberg from 19th on the grid worked his way to 14th. Matty Stratford maintained his 14th position just in front of Marty Carroll. Just the 4/10 in front of Marty Carroll, so Marty came home quite strong. Josh Burden, I think it might have had some issues as well that we saw early days. 16th, James Keane in the Sticks livery did a really good job, considering he doesn't drive the V8s a hell of a lot, so he'll be happy with 17th, showed some good pace. Mark Anderson for SDC, Michael Healy, 19th. Greg Sharp, the final of our finishes, in 20th position. So strong field again this week, and yeah, it all goes well for a strong series.
Yeah, all our finishes within a minute of the leader after a good race that was well over half an hour, so very tight field. Obviously, we had Benjamin Zoko, Benjamin Smith, Marcelo Rivera, and Michael Cracknell, all DNF.
Yeah, well, we know Smith and Rivera might be having a bit of a chuckle about what happened, and yeah, these things do happen. But Mick Cracknell had an incident in this earlier race as well, so it hasn't been a great night for the STC car of Cracknell, but no doubt he'll live on to fight another day, and he's just getting stronger and stronger, Cracknell, so tonight's race is just a one-off event, I would hope, for him.
Yeah, his qualifying wasn't too spectacular. Obviously, he was up towards the front last week, only qualified 12th. this week, and it sort of put him in the middle of that carnage of the start between the two ERA cars, which is a shame. But as you said, he'll come back stronger next week.
And we've got Demidov Innovations, the race winner of tonight, race number 2 of the official V8 Supercar Series, proudly brought to you by Demidov Innovations, great sponsors of this series. And in the Demidov car, Ian Ford. Ian Ford, congratulations on the win, mate.
Thank you. What a race that was.
Well, great qualifying performance by yourself. It's actually quite a commanding qualifying, 3/10 up on Ethan Grigault. A good start for once, mate. What was the difference between the start this week and other races you've done this week?
Oh, with quality, it was definitely a great performance. Like, I knew I put down a 3 in the earlier race, and I knew that Ethan would try and replicate that, since like that would be the nearest time. So I just knew that I had to put in something way better than a 3, and almost cracked a 33. So I'm pretty happy with that. My start was just a great initial launch. I got wheel spin as soon as I changed to second, so almost got swamped there, but just managed to hang on, made a bit of a gap, and made sure that no one was going to go by me in a turn 1, and then I just had to put my head down and go as fast as I could, and the Demidov Holden managed to hold on.
Yeah, it's been a good performance this week. Now, tonight, though, you for a while there, I think you got out to about 2.7 second lead. At the end there, though, was it a matter of you maintaining your pace, or were the tyres going off, or was Ethan just getting quicker and quicker to the point where he could put some pressure on in the last few laps?
I think it's a combination of all things. I was just trying to take it easy, not run myself off the road in something stupid, and just leaving that little bit of margin wasn't really good for my holding the pace out there, because I just started losing a bit of time. I started losing about 3-4 tenths a lap, and it came down to the last lap, and just held on there, and as you can tell, I'm extremely excited.
Now, you've obviously got in touch with the 2 other Evolution Racing Australia guys, Smith and Rivera. Have you had a chance to have a chat with what happened at the start line with them at all?
No, we'll definitely have to have a talk, but I'm pretty sure all 3 of our cars will definitely be in the workshop, since I binned it while doing burnouts.
Well, mate, congratulations on tonight's performance, mate. Spa next week. It's been a long time since we've raced the V8s there. What are your thoughts on Spa?
Oh, Spa's a great track. It used to be a fun track in the old car before they changed to the car of the future. So hopefully it carries on. Eau Rouge is definitely going to be the most deadly corner on the track, as always. I'm pretty sure that someone may roll it there, but not going to point any fingers at the moment. I made a good prediction last week with saying that I'd come back and win it, so, we'll go 2 in a row.
So, yeah, talking about last week quickly, you think you're on top of these connection issues? Couldn't do any races at all last week. So you're on top of that?
God, I hope so. I finished all the races I did this week, so hopefully.
Well, no doubt, mate. Congratulations, an awesome drive. Pole position, led from start to finish. You have to be right for driver of the day in my book. So, mate, for yourself and the Evolution Racing Australia, Demidov Innovations car, mate, look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you, and also congrats to Ethan for putting up such a bloody good fight. Hopefully it was good viewing.
Great viewing as usual, mate, so thank you to you. Who we got next here? We might get Jake Burton in with us. Jake Burton, congratulations, mate. Welcome to RaceSpotTV's Round 2 coverage of the official V8 Supercar Series. Mate, 9th position tonight, a pretty intense battle with Sutton, Cubis, O'Brien and McKnight there for a long while. Mate, tell us a bit about your race.
Oh man, what a race it was. I was racing all weekend in real life in the go-kart, so it wasn't really much practice I could do, so I come straight home from school, put an hour in and just see what I can do, and I got an awesome setup from Sam this week, and I hear that he actually ran the wrong setup, which is why he probably wasn't as high at the grid as what he expected, but it was a really fun race. Came together with James McKnight early in the race, and not sure who was at fault there. I felt I was turned over on, but point being, it was an awesome race, lots of battles, very intense, and looking forward to next week.
Yeah, well, a top 10 in a quality field, mate, and 9th, like I said, you should be congratulated by that. Mate, the start, you didn't get involved with that incident at all?
Oh no, I didn't. I saw it happening and I yelled over the microphone to Sam and Stenny to make sure they avoided it. I saw a car on its lid and thought, far out, we're going to go left, go left, go left. So managed to avoid it, but looked pretty crazy.
And mate, your team's running pretty strongly this season. It's just going from strength to strength. Mate, tell us a bit about your team. Give your sponsors a plug. That's what we're here for, mate. So yeah, tell us all about it.
Well, last night we were happy to announce that Jake Maloney's joined our team. So now we got 4 pretty elite V8 Supercar drivers up there with Sam, Stenny, myself, and Jake Maloney. And then, of course, we got Squizzer and Reese hopping in for the HPD and GT sort of stuff. So we got a really good team dynamic at the moment. We all sort of get along really well, and you know, the racing is something that you get in every team, but the camaraderie is really good in our team at the moment. So yeah, that's something that we definitely got to focus on. But big thanks to our sponsor Dayco and GTI Brake Swings and Custom Image Concepts. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, and good to have Jake Maloney on board, formerly of Multi 21. So yeah, it's good to have him on board. Well, mate, congratulations for tonight. Spa next week. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll definitely come have a race, that's for sure. But I'm not too sure. I've never raced at Spa before in the V8 Supercar, so it'll certainly be an interesting one. Something new to learn.
Well, good job tonight, mate. And looking forward to seeing you and your team next week. And yeah, hopefully the week will be good for you.
Thanks a bunch, Brendan. Catch you next time.
Cheers, mate. And Jake Burton there for SSR and doing Dayco. And doing a fantastic job in 9th position tonight. We've got Ethan Griggolt with us. Ethan Griggolt from team SDC Motorsports. Congratulations to you tonight, mate. 2nd place here at round 2, mate. Tell us a bit about your race.
Oh yeah, thanks. It was an awesome race. Congrats to Ian on the win as well. I was pushing my absolute heart out that entire time, sweating like crazy, and I just had nothing for him that race.
Yeah, a good start by Ian. He said himself he had a bit of wheel spin there as he changed to 2nd gear, but just tucked in behind Ian. Was it a matter of you had to push really hard to stay on his tail, or were you comfortable for a while trying to maintain tyres for that big push at the end that you did?
Around the start, my goal was to just stay ahead of the people behind me at the start, because the earlier race I did, I got swamped and then I got held up by a bit of traffic, and that allowed Ian to go up the road a bit. So that was my main concern. And then once I got behind him, I was pretty quick on cold tyres, so I tried to push and find somewhere to make a move, but that never happened. And yeah, he just started pulling away from me, so I just sat back a little, saved the tyres, as you said, and towards the end I saw Ian starting to drop back a bit, so I just pushed as hard as I could, and I just ran out of laps at the end.
Well, 2nd in a strong field, mate. It all goes well after a fantastic effort last week, winning at round 1 at Zolder. 2nd place tonight. It's still strong points in the bag, and overall for the championship, it's got to be a good thing.
Oh yeah, that's exactly right. 240 points in the bank. I'll take that happily, thanks.
And Spa next week, I've asked others about it. It hadn't been a long while since I think the V8s have been there that I remember, and I'm not sure the new car of the future has been there. I might have missed if we have. Mate, what's your impressions of Spa?
The long sweeping corners don't really suit the V8, but it should make for interesting racing because of the draft and all the long straights it has. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, mate, good job tonight, mate, for SDC Motorsport. 2nd in tonight's race here at Oulton Park. So, yeah, hopefully everything go well next week for you as we go on to Spa.
Yep. Thanks, mate.
Good job, Ethan Griggolt there. 2nd tonight in the main strength of field race here in the V8 Supercar Series. Got a few other drivers up the top there. Just trying to think. We might have a chat with Sammy Sutton. I don't think we've spoke to Sammy yet. So, Sammy Sutton, welcome to RaceSpotTV's round 2 coverage of the V8 Supercar Series. Mate, 10th place tonight for the Dayco Holden Commodore, just the 37 seconds down from Ian Ford. Good strong race though, with and a great battle with Sutton, Cubis, O'Brien and McKnight there. Mate, tell us all about it.
Yeah, well, I qualified on a race setup because I felt I could be quicker on it. Turns out it was the wrong setup anyway, so I kept that in the race, and it was interesting. Starting 17th, I saw that car flipping. and just kind of avoided all the carnage and made it a few places and had a good battle with their teammate Jake for a few laps. Thought I was quick enough to get past him, but I ended up burning out my tyres. So we just sat in behind, and then we got lucky with Aaron and Bo coming together on the second last lap to get another spot to get us on the top 10.
Well, 17th on the grid, up into 10th, mate. So, from 17th on the grid to work your way through that 7 positions, mate, shows a strong racecraft by yourself. And it looked like your car was fairly clean at the end of it.
Yeah, I think most of the scratches were from pushing cars through the corner because they weren't going quick enough. But you had to get creative with your passing. Like Marty Carroll took him around the outside at the kink, coming towards that hairpin. It's a tough track to pass. You got to be creative. And often with these guys, you can trust them, so it works.
And mate, your fastest lap of a 36.077 on lap 14. How were the tyres hanging out by then? No dramas with the tyres tonight?
Mainly just the rears, just coming over the rises, they just start to light up a bit more, and you could feel it in the last couple of laps. It's like, I can't quite go flat over the hills anymore. But all in all, the car handled pretty well and took the stint and the abuse I gave them well.
And the team seems to be running well. We had a chat with Jake before, mate. You happy with the team? New addition with Jake Maloney on board. So congratulations for that. And Spa next week, mate. Hopefully expecting the same type of result.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be a nice open track. We can actually get some passing done next week, so it should be a good race.
No, it should be good for you, mate. And, mate, is there any... I think we've got your sponsors already. No, I think that's actually it, mate. We've got something happening at the moment in the background. Mate, so thank you for tonight, mate, and hopefully it'll be a good week for you and your team.
Yeah, cheers, Brenton.
Cheers, it's Sammy Sutton there, who did a really good job from 17th up into 10th position tonight in the Dayco car. Might just do the one more, boys. I know there's been a few up there waiting. We might just get Marty Carroll down here. Had a few incidents and eventual 15th position for the team manager of STC Motorsports. Marty Carroll, welcome to RaceSpotTV's coverage round 2 here at Oulton Park Raceway. Mate, an eventful race for you. The front looked a bit shabby at the end of it, so a bit of panel work to be done on the car this week.
Yeah, definitely. No, unfortunately, the old Simpet STC Motorsports Falcon copped a nice hit to the right-hand front in that opening lap incident. So I think a couple of those ERA boys will be having an eventful debrief at the moment. So getting stuck into each other there at the start. So not pleasurable for anybody, but other than that, it's still an enjoyable race. Had a good battle with the Dayco boys, and they're always fun and highly competitive, and sort of didn't matter where you were in the field. There was a high level of competition going on.
Oh, I can assure you, mate, the two ERA boys of Smith and Rivera, they'll be having a few drinks over the table about that, and they'll move on pretty quickly. Your own race, though, mate, had a good battle with Kurt Stenberg there for a while, and just dropped off at the end there. Was there any insert mid-race for you at all?
No, I think just the early damage I got. I was driving with a bit of right hand down. It just sort of chewed that right front tyre out a bit too much, and sort of once I got past lap 13, 14, sort of really dropped off the pace. And theoretically I was more, 3 or 4 tenths a lap off the pace at the beginning, even with the fresher tyres. So I was happy to be battling where I was. Me and Kurt battling, it sort of built a bit of a gap to that exciting battle in front of us. So it would have been nice to be part of that, but yeah, all in all, it was still an exciting race. Awesome effort by Ian Ford and Ethan Grigg Gold up front. So it's nice to have an STC car up there on the podium, and good to see James Ignite actually got a run, and he was excited to blow the cobwebs out this week and get back behind the wheel. So.
Yeah, we mentioned McKnight's issues has just dropped a bundle of iRating this week, and through no fault of his own, just hasn't been able to. He logs on for a race and hasn't been able to turn a lap. So he put in a strong effort tonight. And yourself personally, mate, moving house this week, so you haven't been able to turn the laps that you would normally do. So onward and upward to Spa next week. What would you think of that?
Oh, excited to go back to Spa. It's been a long while since the iRacing V8 Supercar Series has headed there. So definitely excited to get back there and put some time in. I've still got a couple of weeks before I move into my new house, so I've got some temporary accommodation. I'll have the rig set up there and be able to turn some laps. And so, yeah, hopefully a bit better for next week with a little bit more than 15 minutes preparation.
Yeah, well, it's a good effort by yourself and the team tonight. Like I said, Ethan Grigol coming in second, and James McKnight with a strong performance. Crackers again had some unfortunate issues, which I don't think he was anything. I certainly don't think he was involved directly with it, but got caught up with it unfortunately. But yeah, hopefully the self and the Simpit team will go on to next week and bigger and better things.
Oh, definitely. We're always pretty strong. When it comes to the series we put in, we had a good showing in the Americas series, the Premier Series last night, and then again tonight. So, it's free broadcast for the community. Overall, it's just great exposure for everyone, and it's good to see the participation is back up for this main event. 100 registered again, 4 splits, and it's only getting stronger.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, good job. So hopefully next week will be good for you. So thanks for the interview tonight, mate.
Cheers. Thanks, Brenton. Thanks, you.
Marty Carroll had a few dramas tonight, but a good result overall. We've got Kurt Stenberg above us as well. We might drag Stenny down here. We might get Josh Burton down as well. We'll just finish up with the Josh and Kurt show down here now. Josh Burton, Kurt Stenberg. Mate, guys, good job on the race tonight. A few issues early. What were your ideas of that race tonight, Kurt?
Yeah, that race went pretty well. I'm not sure what happened on the start, but I started that far back and I saw a car flipping into turn 1. That's always interesting to see. I managed to avoid it and then got stuck in a battle for Marty Carroll for the next half of the race. And yeah, I managed to get away from him and chase down Matt Stratford and yeah, got past him and drove along.
Drove along as you do. Well, mate, with the Premier Series, and I know you ran in that last night, and how much time do you get to spend on each of these races? I know with Ian Ford and Mitch McLeod, Bo Cattell, these guys also ran Premier Series last night. How much time have you had a chance to spend in this at this Oulton Park complex this week?
I'll be honest, I did no laps until probably an hour and a half before the race. So, and then I did a bit of running then, and then probably stopped for 15 minutes and then qualified. So that's the only practice I did for Oulton Park this week.
and Josh, yourself, mate, from where did you start on the grid? 18th on the grid, up into 16th. Sorry, 16th in the end. A few dramas early. Your car looked like it had some aerodynamic changes there fairly early on. What happened there?
Yeah, look, I just got caught up in that first lap crash. Couldn't really, so many cars around you, couldn't see much, so I had nowhere to go. But the car actually wasn't too bad, surprisingly. Yeah, I was struggling. I was probably about just 2 or 3 tenths off where I needed to be in that pack in front. But yeah, it's good fun.
And boys, we'll keep it short because it's heading off soon. But Spa next week, have you guys had a chance to run any laps there at all, or are you just going to be going in pretty fresh as well?
I've done a few laps earlier today just to get my eye back in around there, and surprisingly, it's actually not too bad in the V8. I thought it'd be a bit of a handful, but yeah, no, it's pretty good. So I'm actually looking forward to it, despite all the nice tracks again.
And Josh, with the JFF Racing, mate, great new sponsors on board with GT Omega. Tell us a bit about that deal.
Yeah, basically GT Omega have come on. Can't really release too much at the moment, but hopefully there'll be a bit of exciting stuff coming to iRacing in the near future. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens there.
Well, looking forward to that announcement, and JFF continue to do great things. They're getting bigger and better, and also with their sister team, I think is it the Laser Speak team or whatever it is, with Bentz and Hammond, who actually I think Hammond won the Split 2 race last night at Donington, the Premier Series. So some good things happening for the team.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. It's we just got to work harder and harder each week because the competition is getting stronger and stronger. So we're getting there. Just need to work a bit harder, and we should be around there somewhere.
Well, boys, good job for this week. A few dramas early on, but at the end of the day, a strong field got the job done and got it to the finish line. So congratulations. And yeah, hopefully next week will be better for you.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Cheers
Thanks,
to
mate.
Josh Burton. Cheers, Kurt. And Kurt Stenberg. So, yeah, a strongish result. As Kurt said, they didn't get a lot of seat time. And Josh got caught up early days. So, to our producer for tonight, Hugo Lewis, on behalf of RaceSpot, mate, thank you very much. Again, a really exciting race and different race winner. Ian Ford and the Demidov Innovations, Holden Commodore representing Evolution Racing Australia. So, fantastic job by him. But Ethan Griggold in the STC Motorsports car, he was right there the whole time. So another outstanding performance by both of them. And you know, as this series gets on again, like Marty said, full numbers tonight. I think it went to 5 splits perhaps tonight. So yeah, the series in the V8 category is just getting stronger and stronger every week. So to all our viewers out there on RaceSpotTV, thank you so much for viewing this week, and we look forward to seeing you at Spa for round 3 of the V8 Supercar official iRace Championship, brought to you by Demidov Innovations. If you've got any any IT inquiries, get in touch with Demidov Innovations at demidov.com.au.